Whether by accident, design, or just coincidence, we find ourselves in the Paulins Kill watershed, in possession of a mostly pristine river, fresh air aplenty, and a mixed bag of land use patterns. The collapse of the dairy industry over the past decades has left us with considerable vacant land, both pasture and resurgent pioneer forest. What management decisions will be made and enacted in the coming years? What guidelines will be used to ensure a healthy and vibrant environment for future generations? Who will decide how we move forward? Do we want more industry, warehouses, tract housing developments? Or should we choose preserved farmland, parks, and homesteads that are environmentally sound? For certain, we can't have it all. We can make decisions that preserve what we value most: fresh air to breathe, clean drinking water from our wells, and land use patterns that guarantee open space. But much open space remains. Many forests and unique places have been protected. It is still possible to step aside from the tasteless roadside development along our highways and streets and be rejuvenated and enlightened by our natural wonders. The Paulins Kill watershed has seen a renewed interest by many to enjoy a variety of recreational activities. Young and old now use the extensive network of former railroads as trails for hiking and biking. Starting in Newton, it is possible to take an uninterrupted trip on a well-maintained trail to the Delaware River. Except for the occasional road crossing, biking is a pleasure, free of automobile interference. Stocked by Fish and Wildlife of New Jersey, the river has become a destination for fly fishing for trout. The removal of several dams invite native shad to once again spawn in the Paulins Kill. The commercial flatboats of old have been replaced by the adventurous kayak and canoe enthusiasts. And most important, the water quality has remained exceptionally good. None of this has happened by accident. Numerous towns and resident groups have been working for years to preserve the river and the watershed environment. The state of New Jersey is actively involved with the conservation of our parks and forests. With the cooperation of the Nature Conservancy of New Jersey Fish and Wildlife has committed to the restoration of hyperhumus, a defunct peat mining marsh of over 2,400 acres. Channelized, drained, and mined for a century, no wetlands in the state has suffered more degradation than hyperhumus. The removal of the Columbia Dam and the Paulina Dam, both well past their age for safety and usefulness, serves as a landmark action to restore and preserve the Paulins Kill for the future. The lakes created by these structures have for many years been filled with silt and debris, rendering their use as recreational lakes minimal. Now miles of Paulins Kill can run free, inviting migratory fish to once again spawn and frequent the river. The preservation of farms and open spaces has overwhelming support of the general public. Many local municipalities have environmental commissions and have drafted ordinances to ensure that we are not drowned in unchecked development. Growing heritage grains and restorative farming practices are being adopted by increasing numbers of farmers. One group that is visionary in its approach to healthy land and a healthy environment for our communities is the Foodshed Alliance. The accomplishments of the Alliance and its many programs, and its steadfast concern for the river valley and its environment, speaks for itself.
The Foodshed Alliance is involved in watershed work because our mission is about a three-legged stool: food, farming, and the environment. So you can't have one piece without the other. What happens in the water is directly reflected in the soil and on the farm, and what happens on the farm and the soil is directly reflected on the water, so they work together.
The Foodshed Alliance works for us all at the intersection of food, farming, and the environment, encouraging and taking deliberate actions to support and expand sustainable farming and development are the most significant initiatives of consequence to the health of the Paulins Kill. Recognizing that their policies focused on farming, food, and the environment support each other, the Alliance has added the Paulins Kill watershed community to its initiatives. The projects that the Paulins Kill watershed community has taken on are varied and challenging. Our community science for clean water projects are ongoing. Our trained volunteers collect both chemical and biological data to establish benchmarks of the current status of the Paulins Kill River. We monitor winter road salt levels at dozens of different sites throughout the watershed. In the spring and fall, our volunteers collect macroinvertebrate samples, since these living creatures are the best indicator of river health. Our floodplain forestry management activities are caring for more than 30,000 trees planted on the riverbanks. These trees will help reduce flooding hazards and cool the river, fostering a more natural ecosystem for trout and migratory fish. Our educational outreach program has developed and delivered an activity-based suite of lessons that enrich our students' understanding of their local environment. We sponsor outdoor recreational activities, helping all ages connect with and strengthen their appreciation for the outdoors, be it biking, hiking, fishing, boating, birdwatching, or just reflecting at your favorite spot. There is an activity for everyone. We work with farmers to become certified as a river-friendly farm, a national program that publicly champions farmers that use soil, water, and land use regenerative practices. Our latest initiative to protect the river focuses on the possibility of designating the Paulins Kill as New Jersey's fourth nationally recognized wild and scenic river. We aim to inform and educate the leaders of the 12 townships that govern the watershed communities about the benefits of this designation. This understanding will hopefully inspire actions that will preserve our river for future generations. Our journey into the past and present of the Paulins Kill watershed and its river is complete. The journey into the future of our river and our watershed is yet to be written. Only time will tell how the river will continue. Without concern and respect from all interested parties, local residents and businesses, visitors coming to fish, bike, or just enjoy the natural beauty and serene values of the Paulins Kill, time will diminish the natural treasure that is the Paulins Kill. By turning concern into action today, many future generations will be able to stand by the river and give thanks to the thoughtful and dedicated individuals that made its preservation possible. As has been said by David Brower, founder of the Friends of the Earth and one-time executive director of the Sierra Club, we must begin thinking like a river if we are to leave a legacy of beauty and life for future generations. So what does it mean to think like a river? What's the consequences of giving sentient thought to what has just always been a part of the landscape? Does the river feel gratitude as it is eternally refreshed by rain and runoff from the land? Does the river thrill from the unstoppable power of building itself every foot downstream? Does it have feelings of disgust and anxiety as unthinking people pour waste and toxic substances into its flow? Does it feel godlike as it fosters and parents an entire universe of living plants and animals? Does the river remember the legion of people who come to swim in and enjoy its clean, cool waters? Does it appeal to us to see and understand its connectedness to us, and how together we can manage the challenges and chaos of our forever-changing world. As history has flowed through our valley, so will our future.